Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
David Beckham, you've got to watch this doco on Netflix. It's unbelievable.
Can't wait.
It's astounding because we don't really know too much about the... I mean, you see all the headlines, but this is the first time that they've opened up. They're not really... They're quite private. And
Well, he's never been one to sort of sit down and talk, is he?
No.
Well, no, thankfully.
No, it's never been his thing.
No,
And when we play audio, just because I heard a bit of last week, Fitz, when we play audio, just make sure you point out when it's Victoria talking and when it's David talking, because they sound the same.
The vision is unbelievable because you've got all this great vision of his playing days and, you know, her and the Spice Girls as well. So there's unseen footage that you've never seen before, and you don't realise how good of a football player he was.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. But he was also, when he first started seeing Victoria Beckham, they were so under the spotlight, and I don't know how they survived.
No, both of them, because of course he was this enormous, famous footballer, and I think the vision I saw was where he knew that there were two Spice Girls in the building at a particular game, because so the hype around the Spice Girls was if you could snag a Spice Girl, you were doing all right. You were like the power couple in the UK or the world at that point.
Do you think Robbie Williams at one stage hook up with a Spice Girl? Tommy on the Google for that.
Jerry.
Was it?
Yes, I think he's spoken about that before. But
Ginger Spice.
It was funny when he was told there's two Spice Girls at the game today, his immediate reaction was, is Posh there? Because he loved Posh. And you know what? He adores her. It's really amazing to see his love for her and she for him as well. Then they were under the spotlight. Like his manager was Sir Alex Ferguson, who's one of the most successful coaches of all time, and he was a hard coach. So he never liked a Spice Girl being a part of the Manchester United
distracting
image,
for the brand. Yeah.
you know?
The wags just get in the way, don't they?
Well, this is the thing. He didn't like it at all, Kate. When they got married, I can't remember this, but this is how much they got paid for their wedding.
The only camera allowed into the event will belong to OK magazine. It's paid £1 million for the exclusive.
We're talking late 90s, early noughties there.
So
£1 million.
Does that make it about $2.5 million?
Yep.
My God.
Australian. And I didn't remember this at all, but Jess, if you could get up for the guys, but their outfits, they went the purple theme. This is David talking about his purple suit.
I tried to think back to when I decided to wear a purple suit. I don't know when that happened. I think I just took Victoria's lead on it, but what were we thinking?
It looks terrible. So they've already got one of their kids, who's then David's carrying in these pictures. The kid has got a purple suit on with a purple bib and a purple cowboy hat.
See,
Is that
I mean, the
Brooklyn or
only thing
something?
missing from that picture is Elton John.
So you know what? He wouldn't have been far behind.
I mean, no, I know. And I think even the wedding photos, if my memory serves me correctly, she was wearing like a crown, like a princess crown.
Yeah, and there was
so this is the after party or the reception outfit. There would have been a few frock changes.
Well, they were sitting in thrones as well. They had thrones. The other thing as well, it's amazing, and they talk about this. Some of his ex-teammates talk about this, but back in the late 90s and that, when we talk about mental health, we didn't really speak about it then. So if you were thrown under a bus, you had to deal with it yourself. And David Beckham gave away a red card in a World Cup game that England hated him for. For 6 months, he got booed every time he ran out into the field. And Victoria used to go and watch him every game. She says, I don't like football, but I loved watching him. So she would go and support him every game. It's unbelievable what they had to put up with. And there was a chant that started by the opposition team.
Yes, I remember
every time they played Manchester United. Have a listen to this.
And there was one song which she'll kill me for singing. Every football fan sang this song.
Posh Spice takes it up the
That's 75,000 people singing that song while you're at the game. And this is how Victoria spoke about that period.
I mean, it's embarrassing, it's hurtful. I remember sitting down and the lady next to me, she turned to me, she didn't know what to say. She said, do you want a polo? Do I want a polo? Because what do you say when you're sitting next to someone and 75,000 people have been saying that you take it up the
Well, whether she does or not is irrelevant.
It is unbelievable what she had to put up with.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? You know, the woman should have just said, "I'm so sorry you have to go through this. I'm so sorry you go through this."
I'm just trying to work out what is a polo. Is it a polo
I think
shirt?
is it a lolly?
Is it a lolly?
Like a little chocolate or
Okay,
something?
gotcha.
Or a mint, or it's something like that.
I'm trying to think if you want a polo shirt.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
sweet.
know.
I think though, when people become that level of famous, is that the people around them forget that they are actually human beings and that they do exist, and that they do get in their car at the end of the day and they go home and they probably cry and argue about the fact that she doesn't want to go to the game, but she should go to the game because why people chanting that she does this thing.
Yep.
Why should that keep her away from watching the man that she loves play football?
What a
I'm not going to
battle.
let these people affect my life. And there is no correlation between the fact that is just so abusive and so traumatic.
Yeah. It's when you look back, and this is England. England will turn on their players if they don't get what they want.
So was the chant just to put him off?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
75,000
But you know what?
people.
He played better. This was the thing. He took it all on board and he said, I actually loved it because I would go out there and it was one of the best years of football he ever had in his life. What I want to talk about, though, why he was so good, David, because he had an old school parent in Ted Beckham, right? And his old man's got 1,300 videos of David playing junior soccer.
What, home videos?
He kept every game.
He's like BJ.
It's
I
unbelievable.
love this.
So he is an old school parent and he had all these different techniques. David was quite small and really skinny, but this was Ted talking about what he used to do to David to fatten him up.
I was a bit worried about the size of him, so that's when we started giving him Guinness and a raw egg. To be fair to the boy, he did it every week.
He was about 12 years of age.
Give him beer and a raw egg.
Prior to the game?
He
or?
would drink a pint of Guinness and he'd have to eat a raw egg to put on weight. And you know what?
And then have a lie down, I would imagine.
It brought back memories of I had a coach, a football coach, that used to make me drink a pint of Guinness to put on weight.
Are you joking?
And I had to eat a kilo of steak to put on weight. He was the weights coach at the Adelaide Crows.
Oh my God, I want to meet him.
Robbie Carruthers was his name, and he would say, I'm going to sit with you. You've got to drink your pint of Guinness and eat a kilo of steak, and this will help you in the gym.
God, when do I turn up to training?
Exactly.
That'd be amazing.
Being made to drink Guinness.
What's happening next week?
That is your dream work.
Honey, I don't want to go to the pub, but I'm feeling a little thin.
But I've committed to this training. And is the dad a good-looking rooster like Becks?
No, not at all. Ted's not at all.
What about the mum? Is the mum interviewed on this?
Well,
Beckham's mum?
Mum's lovely. She's lovely. But yeah, he was quite an awkward kid.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about old school parenting techniques.
Yep.
Did you have a mum or dad that had a parenting technique that was just outside the square?
Yeah, I'll knock it out of him.
Like a pint of Guinness and an egg to fatten you up. Mark in North Narrabeen. What do you got, Mark?
Good morning. How are we all?
Yeah, good, Mark.
Good.
That's the way. That's the way. Well, I think my parents were pretty big on manners and they passed it on to me. So I remember one occasion when I was pretty young and we had grandparents over visiting. And I don't think I was paying attention, but my grandmother was talking and I came in to say something very important at the time. And I said, shut up. I told my grandmother to shut up. Well, so that was not a good move. I didn't mean it. I'm sure I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
But my father grabbed me and he took me to the bathroom and you heard the expression, I'll wash your mouth out with soap.
Soap, yeah.
Well, that's exactly what he did.
it.
And none of these hand dispensing soap things you have these days. An old-fashioned bar of soap straight in the mouth, all over.
Yeah,
my God.
I used to get I've had the soap.
Bar of soap in the mouth?
Soap in the mouth, kind of...
rubbed on the lips.
Rubbed on the bottom teeth because then it gets great. And then in our family once, because I was the eldest of 4 kids, Mark, I don't know which role you had in your family, but because I was the eldest, I was the eldest of 4. So if one of the younger children had to have a cake of soap in the mouth, why am I telling this story? I would have to man the outside tap so they couldn't go and wash their mouth.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah,
So how long did you have to have it in your mouth for?
I don't know. I don't
taste.
remember anything beyond that.
Oh,
it
my
was
God.
just
Seems like an hour, doesn't it? Seems like a long
oh
time.
my goodness.
See, I had a mate who his mum on the vinyl floor if he wasn't listening and got a couple of warnings, she would get out uncooked rice, just spread it all over the vinyl, and he had to on his knees. He had to stand there on his knees with his his hands behind his back,
kneeling on it,
kneeling on the rice, the uncooked rice on the vinyl floor. As mates were in the background just sniggering at him, just laughing at him.
This basmati's killing my kneecaps. Valerie in Ermington, hello.
Hi there, good morning, how are you?
Good, Val, what's your story?
So in order so that I finish my food, as a kid, my parents would tell me that I would grow up to marry a ugly person with a very bumpy face, like bad skin, like the bottom of my bowl, or with the rice grains at the bottom. So that I would finish it, and I would grow up to marry someone who's pretty with good skin.
Right. So based on the appearance of the bowl, represented the future appearance of the person.
Exactly.
Did it suck you in, Valerie? Did you think,
For a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was very conscious. I was like, I want someone with good skin condition, to be fair.
Oh, my God. And Valerie, did you end up marrying somebody lovely?
Oh, I'm not married yet, but my current partner is very lovely.
Oh, well, see, and I'll tell you what, Valerie...
That's good. Mum and Dad are always right.
Well, if you could see the bowl every time, I think you're going to have a beautiful partner, Valerie, in the future.
Thank you very much.
It's funny how your mum and dad can get in your head and you could truly believe things. I had an Uncle Maury who used to live up in the Maitland area, and he'd lost a finger in a work accident, and he just said he picked his nose and it fell off one day. So, oh my God.
You were so panicky.
The panic attached to having a pick of your nose is
it is a joy as a parent. It's a joy as a parent to... There are a couple of white lies that are funny for kids. There was a mountain near us where we grew up that had a hole in it, the side of the mountain, and Dad used to tell me, and I've forever thought it was Broken Hill.
Right.
So that's Broken Hill right there.
See that?
It's broken, see? So I used to tell the kids at school, we went past Broken Hill, and they'd be like...
you idiot.
But then he told me that Wet n Wild was the local water park.
He's lied to you all your life.
So everyone thought I was going to the Gold Coast and Broken Hill every second.
Yeah, he said he loved you once too, didn't he? All right, Graham in Penrith, give it to us, mate.
G'day, guys. Back in the day when we were kids, I'm one of 4 boys, and we're always getting into trouble. And my old man used to give us the strap.
Oh, the strap.
And yeah. And one day that we got up, we did something wrong, and my old man knew it was one of us. So we all got lined up and got the strap, one each.
Oh, he took his belt off, did he?
And he kept going around until one of us cracked and one of us owned up to it.
Oh.
And then he gave that brother another 3 because he watched his brothers get the strap.
Oh, would have hurt too, Graham. Couple of welts on the bum, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Graham.
Wasn't that... When a teacher in class would say, we are not leaving here until the perpetrator stands up and tells me who it was.
Yeah, and then you just dob someone else.
The fear of
come on,
do
Steve.
they know it's me? Do they know it's me?
Yeah, and then you're looking around and all your mates go, just do it, man. We've got footy training in 5 minutes.
I remember my mum hit me so hard on the bum one time, I had like a handprint, a clear outline of redness on my right arse cheek.
Me too.
Yeah, especially when you were fresh out of the bath.
Tom, you had one
fresh
as well.
off
Christine's hand, which was very...
Sorry, mate.
Did you have one from Christine?
Tom, you got a tattoo on it.
Yeah, I'll show you right now.
You were singing Mustang Sally and you and Mum were dancing on the couch at the time, Tom. And if you think that's a joke, I'm not making it up. Tom, leave my mother's...
No.
My mum! You leave my mother's hand off your bottom.
Well, let's be all thankful that that's not the way we parent anymore.
No,
Yeah,
well
the
said,
slap
Kate.
is out of season.
Great out. Hey, we're going to pay your bills next.
Hey, I always come in with the clanger, don't I?
To conclude, in summary...
In summary,
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.